learned your data skill, and your next challenge is how to write a resume that will get you hired. I see many beginners struggling with how to structure their resume, knowing what to include and what not to include, and how to actually stand out for the recruiters. If you are wondering how can I create or edit my resume to actually land me an interview, this video is for you. I will show you how to craft a data analyst or a data scientist resume using Canva that will get you your next job. If you want to know how to write that resume that will land you your next job, stay till the end of this video. I'll be teaching you the do's and don'ts. I'll be teaching you about the actions, the tools, and how to make your resume measurable. So see you at the end of the video. If you have not subscribed, do well to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Thank you. This is the resume we'll be building at the end of this video. I'll be showing you how to do all of this using your Canvas. So stay to the end of this video. The first thing you do is to go to the canva.com website and we'll search for resume. So there are different templates for resume. You can search and see the one that suits your preference, but it is advisable to use the resume that does not have image on it. It is advisable to choose a resume that don't have image. So what I did was I started some resume that I loved or I would want to use. This one is called Purple and White Clean Professional Resume. You can search for it. Let's search for it because this is the template we'll be using. Purple and White Clean. Alright, so it brought us this resume, exactly what we want. Click on it and we will start editing. Customize this template. It has brought us to the resume. I'll just zoom in so I can see it well. The first thing you do is your name. Your name should be stated boldly. So that's why I actually chose this template, because it just checked all the boxes in creating a professional resume that will get you employed or get you your next interview. So you change it to your name and make sure your full name is what your full name. This is your contact information. Like your name is very important. It should be spelled very boldly. And you go further to put your location. Where are you currently at? You put your location there and your phone number. It's very important so that they can contact you. The next thing you put is your email address. And mind you, your email address must be professional email address. It shouldn't be QTCZ, beauty fame, whatever. It should be a professional name. It should be like your name here, Odemela Mikeria Uchenna. It should take your name format if possible. So it doesn't matter if it's a Gmail, if it's a Yahoo mail, if it's any kind of mail, but the idea of it that the name that should be used should be professional. The next thing you put here is you put in your let me go to the one we already created. Next thing you put in there is your portfolio. Your portfolio is very important. As a beginner, after you've learned all your data skills, the next thing you have to include is a portfolio that showcases all the work or the project you've worked on. The link on how to create a portfolio will be right on top in the video now, and it will also be in the description. Very important to put your portfolio as a data experts, you need to put in your portfolio so that they can see, even if you're not an expert or a beginner, put in your portfolio so we can see, or your recruiters can see the project you've worked on. Next thing you put is your social media handle, LinkedIn, Instagram. I put in my LinkedIn. Now the next thing you go to is your skills. Now you need to outline the skills that you have. You're a beginner, you just finished learning your data skill. You now have to show them, they should see it first, because your skill should be based on the JD, the job description, based on what is needed, based on what they prioritize. Some job description, they would want you to be very good at your Power BI and your SQL and Python. If you see that this is what the job description wants, that should be the first thing you put there. Power BI, Python, then you can go further to now put your SQL and your Excel. So the arrangement is based on, so that whenever your recruiter look at it, immediately because they spend only 6 minutes looking at your resume, what you do in the first 6 minutes is very important. What they see in the first 6 minutes is very important. Oh, this person has the skill. Oh, let's check that. And then they go down to knowing your project. Now, because you're a beginner, you just learned the skill and you don't have job or working experience, it's best to now put the projects you've worked on. Put in all the projects. And mind you, the projects you've worked on should be solving real-world problems. For instance, we did a sales forecasting for retail business. Every business person wants to know how their sales will go and what to do better. Now, I want you to take notice of what you put in your projects. 3 things you need to put in mind writing your project. The first thing is the project header. So it was sales forecasting for retail business. And then the year, it should be arranged based on the recent job or recent project you've done. Coming down to the listing out of what you did in that project, you should follow these 3 main techniques. 1, the project you carried must be measurable. 2, the project you carried out must be actionable, and it should include the tools you used. I'll say that again. Your project should be measurable, actionable, and the tools you use. When I mean measurable, you should be able to tell us the impact of your project after carrying out the analysis. So what was the impact of your project? When we say actionable, so what did you do? What did you build? I built Susan. So I utilized Python. Now this is where you now put in the tools you use. The tools are very important. What tool do you use in kind of the analysis? So let's read what I wrote. I said I conducted a time series forecasting to predict future sales trend and optimize inventory management. Over 3,120 rows sales data. So what is this telling you? This is about the action that was carried out. I conducted time series forecast. The next bullet point there is telling us the tools that were utilized. What tool did we use to carry out this analysis? So I wrote the tools that was used, and the next thing is the results. What was the result? What was the impact of this analysis? So it improved forecast accuracy by 25%, reducing overstock and improving business decision making. So that's the format your project should take. It should be measurable, actionable, and then the tools should also be outlined there. When we go further to including our job experience, most times, as a beginner or entry-level data analyst, you might not have the experience because you've not worked in any organization so far. You just finished learning the tools. If you don't have any experience, there's no need for you including it, except if the job experience is related to the job that was needed. For instance, if you are applying as a health data analyst and you have an experience working in the hospital, beautiful. You can include your work experience as a nurse or as a health personnel. The next thing is your education. The education should state your degree or the certificates that you've gotten in that particular field of data analysis or data science. So let's go back to Canva and So basically, what you do is to go to Canva. I would suggest you use this template because it checks out the box. Now, you will notice that in my own, I didn't have a summary. So the summary is not important per se. It depends on you. There's no right or wrong way of actually creating a CV. But if you need to write a summary, then go ahead to. But it's not compulsory to put in a summary there. Because what I want my recruiter to see the first 6 seconds is my skill. Or does this person have the skill needed? Then if she has the skill needed, she checked it in her mind, and the recruiter goes down to knowing my job experience or the project I've worked on. So this is the template. We can just go. If you notice what happened if you see here, I have my contact information. Then we go down here to the skill, and the skill comes out in a bullet point. So let me just show you how I did that in Canvas. I come here, I change here to skill. I highlighted and choose list in bullet form. So just clean it and write Excel. Come down, say Power. You can include Microsoft Power BI, SQL. Now include all the SQL that you know how to use. But what I did next is I now reduce this, Ctrl C to copy the box and Ctrl V to paste. I then put it here side by side and added Python. If you have more skills, you can also include it. That was how I was able to do this skill. Next thing you do, just clean here and then change it to projects. And then you include all the projects you've worked on. After you're done including the projects, you change here to work experience. After you're done with work experience, you write all the work experience you have. You delete highlights and delete highlights. Click on the box and delete. Click on the box and delete. You can move all of this. I can move this up. If I want to add education, come here, clean this and write my education. I'll add my education. Done editing my resume. Next thing you do now is to export it as a PDF. So we'll come to share, we'll go to download, and if you want to download as image, but it's best to always download in PDF. And then we'll come here and download. If you notice, it's downloading as purple and white, clean and professional resume. This is based on the name of the template. You can come here and change it to your name. It is very professional for your CV to have your name, which is Odemela. Okay. It's very professional for your CV to have your name. And we can now re-download it again. Click on download and download it. Now you see now it has my name, Odemela Mikoya Uchenna. Thank you for watching today's video. Do well to like, share and subscribe. Bye for now.